Hi guys, it's me, Donita. I am doing a video because I just need to get something off my chest and talk to my fellow weight loss pals that have had weight loss surgery. So here it goes. I've had a really rough weekend and I'm like just thinking that I need to share it for whatever reason. So I had an awesome weekend, but I had a rough weekend. Can the two go hand in hand? Evidently, because that's what happened. Friday, we have a carry out at work, a food carry out. And so that was hard. We have those often at work, every so often when we celebrate someone coming or going, birthday or baby shower, whatever. We'll have those at work, so there's food everywhere. And I felt like I did pretty good. I mean, I avoided the cupcakes, the cookies, didn't even take a bite, tried to be smart, all that good stuff. But it was draining. By the time I left, I was just glad to be out of there, to be away from the food. So I was just looking forward to this weekend. My husband's been on a diet, and this weekend's supposed to be his cheat weekend, which is always a little more tough on me. Just because being around all the food, I'll make the food for him. Well, then I get a text that my son's coming to visit for the weekend, or for a day or two, which is great news. Who doesn't want to see their son? I love when he's here. So there's no negative with seeing my son. Like, it's great. He took me Saturday shopping for my birthday, which was so awesome. Went and bought, on Saturday I got me 2 dresses and 2 jackets and loved them. So that was that. But my son, when he's here, wants all the comfort food that I used to fix. That I've always fixed. The things that I always would eat. Chicken Alfredo pizza, which the Alfredo sauce is yummy, but just evil, right? It's just evil food. He wanted meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and I made cinnamon rolls, and so there was just no healthy food around all weekend. It was just bad food left and right, and I tried to pick up my jerky and eat my jerky, but it doesn't mean that I don't want to stick my finger in the Alfredo sauce and taste it, or that I don't want. But there was Doritos here all weekend, and I had some. I mean, I'd get a couple and think, oh well, it won't hurt to have a couple more. So even though maybe I didn't eat a lot of food, I don't want to be eating that type of food. It messes with me. I mean, I don't want to do it. I hate it. So I'm just like completely mentally drained, food-wise. I don't want to be around it. And I just felt like I was ready to break and have a complete mental breakdown all weekend, food-wise. Not because, I love being around my family. It had nothing to do with my family. I didn't know sometimes that it would be so hard to be around food. When you have to refrain from eating it like you used to, you realize what a battle it's been for you your whole life. And I apologize that I'm not looking my best right now. That's a whole nother story. So, my son left earlier this evening, and my husband said to me, do you want to go get your protein powder since you are out? We need to get you protein powder. So yeah, I've got my yoga pants on, the kind of clothes that you wear just at home or in the gym or to take a walk or to go to sleep, but you don't wear them to work, and you definitely don't wear them in public. I don't, personally, because let's be honest, I'm 200 and whatever, right? I'm a big girl, as we talk about all the time. Yoga pants on me don't look like they do on a girl who's 110 pounds, You can see every little imperfection, and you just don't want to wear them in public. Well, as we're walking out the door, my son calls my husband, and my husband says, your son wants to take you to Olive Garden for your birthday. And I said, I don't want to go to Olive Garden. I appreciate the nice gesture, but I've cooked all weekend. I don't even know how people are hungry. Just tell him no. Like, he can go eat. I don't want to go. Well, first of all, I'm already feeling bad about just saying I don't want to go. But I didn't want to be around the food. I didn't want to sit and watch everybody else eat. And really, I wasn't hungry. I had already ate the little bit that I could have. And my husband said, that's rude. Let's just go. So we get in the car. I am literally throwing a tantrum the whole way there. I don't want to go. You go in. I'm sitting in the car. I'm not going in. I mean, that is how it was. I was just, did not want to go in. So we get there. We go to the vitamin shop. I get my protein powder. Mind you, I look awful, right? My hair's not really did. My makeup is not done. I've got yoga pants on. Anyway. So I go into Olive Garden and as I walk in, I see that I see like everyone's like looking at me. I'm like, oh, like the workers. And I'm like, well, that's weird. And just kind of gave them a look and kept going. And I just no part of me wanted to be there. None. So then, as I'm walking in, I see a table, a big table. To make a long story short, my husband plans this birthday party for me. Birthday party dinner with my parents and my sister and my nieces and nephews, and I'm already not in a good place. I mean, I see them and I break down and have a tearful moment. I am furious with my husband. Furious with my husband, and I am so upset in this moment. So I sit down and I have some crying spouts, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? My husband just tried to do this amazing thing for me. He knows I love my family. He knows how important my family is to me. And I'm furious at this moment that, well, let's just talk about this, ladies. Like, number one, let me give you some advice to men. If you are going to surprise your wife with a birthday party, her 40th at that she's really not thrilled about, can you at least make sure she's looking on point when you take her? Like, don't take her in her jammies. Don't take her. Couldn't have he said something like, hey, I want to take you out tonight. Get dressed. Now, mind you, I don't leave my house without looking pretty nice all the time. I try to look nice. So I am not holding it together in front of my family. Number one, I'm furious that I'm celebrating my birthday around food. Because this birthday is supposed to be what? It's supposed to be, this little get-together is supposed to be to celebrate me. And here I am, surrounded by food. The thing that has haunted me my whole life. Food has haunted me my whole life. And here I am sitting at this table. And it's supposed to be my birthday party. My mom drove, my sister drove. They used their time and energy to get here. And I'm not enjoying the moment. And I feel awful. Like, I'm crying. I'm furious with my husband because I look like I just worked out at the gym or I just woke out of bed. Don't do that to don't do it to your wives, please. Just don't. And not to mention the fact that I'm so self-cautious about the way I look now anyway because of my excess skin, just everything. So we leave, and I just feel awful, like I ruined the whole moment because I cried, I was mad, I watched everybody eat. I didn't want to watch everybody eat. I've just had this weekend where I wanted to hide from food. I didn't want food around me. I just wish I could disappear and food leave the face of the earth. I just had that kind of weekend where I hate food. I hate it because my whole life I've always loved it, you know? I've always loved it. It's always been my friend's food. Food is not my friends. Yet, we've always celebrated with food. I've always celebrated with food. My family has always celebrated with food. And I'll just tell you now, I've done really good at times. I've done so good at times, attending picnics, attending. This weekend, just for whatever reason, rubbed me the wrong way. Typically, I do pretty good. No, not this weekend. I apologize to my mom and my sister for if I made them feel like I didn't appreciate their effort. I feel like no matter what it looks like, nobody will understand the moment that I was having, because I just, I apologized to my husband. I said, I'm sorry. I know you were trying to do a nice thing, but don't ever do something like this without. Don't you understand that I don't want to celebrate with food anymore? I can't celebrate with food anymore. If I want to be successful, I can't celebrate with food. It's hard because we've always done it. My son wanted chicken Alfredo pizza because that's the meals I cooked him. He wanted meatloaf and mashed potatoes because those are the meals that I've always cooked him. It's not his fault. It's my fault. I did that. I set him up for that. I've created bad habits in my family. We have. I don't know. Sometimes I just wish my battle was something that I didn't have to live. I have to have food and nutrition to live. So my battle isn't alcohol or it isn't drugs. Those things you don't necessarily have to have those in order to live. Food, you do. You have to have food in order to live. I don't know. I just feel awful about my day. My husband tried to do something nice and I was rude. My mom and sister traveled far and my niece and sister even made me sugar-free cupcakes, which was a sweet gesture. And, I did try it, just a little taste, but I felt guilty. I feel guilty when I eat. I feel guilty when I eat all the time, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a bad thing. I look awful. I apologize that. I apologize for that. I do. I just felt like this was a moment because I was so passionate about the way I felt today that maybe somebody else could relate to this. It's the only reason I'm sharing it. It's personal. It's not something that I probably would just want to throw out there to anybody, but you guys share your personal moments with me. And so I just wanted to share them with you. And I appreciate all the messages that I get inbox on Facebook or even some that I get through other means. So I appreciate that. Thank you. On a lighter note, on a better note, my son, when he took me shopping for my birthday yesterday, I bought 2 dresses, size 14. 14. What? That's a good thing, right? But see, that's the reason that I have all the fear of food and celebrating with food, because I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to the old habits. And I understand how easily it could be to do that. When you surround yourself with food and you start going back into your old habits, when we would go to Olive Garden in the past, I'd get me peach iced tea. I would have me, or pop, and I'd have me 4 or 5, 6 glasses at dinner, 4 or 5 breadsticks, all the Alfredo sauce to dip it in, tons of salad with ranch dressing. Then I'd have some huge pasta meal and maybe dessert. Then I'd go home and drink pop and eat. That process, I understand that I'm not maybe eating much sometimes, but I'm not concerned necessarily about the amount always. I'm concerned about what I'm putting in my mouth. I don't want to put Doritos in my mouth. I understand that we live in this world and that we probably will do those things, right? Something just happened, sorry. We will do those things. We're going to be human and make mistakes. I don't want them to become habit for me. So I get scared. I get nervous about celebrating with food. My family was so nice and so sweet to me, and I feel like I ruined the moment. I feel like I ruined the moment. They were trying to celebrate a milestone with me, and I was too busy. I was too busy with hating the fact that I had yoga pants on and I looked fat in public, or that my makeup wasn't did, or that I had to watch other people eat while I couldn't eat. What is wrong with me? I don't typically have those days, but I did have a weekend like that this weekend, so it's real. And the whole reason for this channel is to share your experiences, to share what you're going through after gastric bypass. And this was one of mine. This was one of my experiences. I love my husband. He's amazing. What he tried to do tonight was so nice of him, so giving of him. It just didn't go over well with me. And for many reasons that I just mentioned, you know. So I'm going to stop. For whatever this is worth, I hope that if you haven't went through a gastric bypass, or you're thinking about surgery, just remember this. It's a tool that we have to use. It's not a fix-all. You're still going to have mental hunger. You're still going to want to eat. You're still going to want your favorite snack. Because it's those things that always comforted you. Those things that always made you feel better. And so sometimes, when you're on this side, that one thing, your best friend food, feels like you've lost your best friend sometimes. It's sad. For the most part, I don't have those moments. I do well. I do real well with my eating plan. I do real well with eating my protein, and for the most part I do. This weekend, I couldn't tell you how much protein I've had, which isn't good. I couldn't tell you how much water I've had. Just been one of those weekends. I don't know how many calories I've eaten. I mean, I don't feel like I've eaten some extreme amount of calories. Once again, it's not about that. It's, for me to be successful, I need to calculate my protein every day. I need to calculate my calories every day, my activity. This video really just was about the fact that things change after surgery. You have to just adjust. I'm trying to adjust to everyone around me who hasn't mentally changed. Everyone's still doing everything that they've always done, as they should. But yeah, I'm here and I still see everybody doing all the things that I used to do. I did them worse, I'm sure, obviously. But it's hard. It's just hard. And I don't mean to be in an emotional basket case over this, but it's my 40th birthday in 2 days. And my husband tried to celebrate my birthday and surprise me and do a sweet thing, and I just totally screwed it up. I totally ruined his plan. I was shocked. I had no idea what I was walking into, and it just didn't go as planned. And I feel guilty for it. I do, and I don't know if I should, or if maybe he should have been more sensitive and tried to work it out. I'm sure we're both wrong on some. This could have went much better if I hadn't already ate before I left. Because who wants to go to Olive Garden if they've already... I mean, my belly's tiny now, so I can't be eating no huge portion and expect to be okay. I mean, I couldn't go to Olive... I had already ate something. So if I went to Olive Garden and tried to stuff something else in, it would have been a bad experience. I wasn't doing it, so... Nor should have I. I'm rambling. I'm rambling. I had an emotional moment. Just want you guys to know that these do happen. I had them more before surgery on my pre-op diet than I have had after. But I have had a few after. This journey is hard. Just want you guys to realize that if you have the surgery, you're going to have to be mentally strong to just get through this. It's just one of those things. So I'm done talking. Thank you guys for listening. I hope that somebody who's watching gets something from it. Whatever that might be. Alright. Talk to you guys later.